Hi, all, and welcome to Monday night's All Meta Mode podcast with myself, Amanda Digger DeGaz, and Gypsy with Zero Discrimination. Hi, all, and welcome to Monday. I can't believe we're already mid-month. Isn't that absolutely crazy?
It is crazy. I can't believe that Christmas is just around the corner, and school, I think, gets out Thursday. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Time is a flying. So as you all know, no advertisements tonight. We're just getting into it. So, yeah. So how are you doing? How's everything going?
It's going pretty good. I can't complain. How about you? How's your week going?
I have to say,
last
week, I think it was like a stomach bug, was not well, did not feel well. Plus I've been working like massive amounts of overtime, so just tired. But I did get out this weekend. I was, feeling better come Sunday, and I was like, it was somewhat nice out. The breeze made it very cold, but thanks to fleece-lined pants and, the multiple layers, it worked out pretty well. So got out to another new permission. I'm getting lucky here with permissions.
Whoa, a new one.
A new one. Yep.
That's fantastic. Well, tell us about that.
So I took your advice, and I took my Apex and put it into the multi-frequency, and I'd been there one other time and had found a bunch of buttons and a large scent and an Indian head. So this time I went back over that section because obviously it was in a small, a relatively small hill-like area, and I'm like, I bet there's more here. And we got massive amounts of rain on Saturday, so the ground was nice and wet and conducive to metal detecting.
So yes.
I got another, I think it was 5 or 6 buttons, a couple buckles, an 1819 coronet large scent. So that was fun.
Woohoo!
Yeah. I'm like raking it in with the large scents at the end of this year.
You are.
And then,
how many have you found with the Apex so far? Because I know you haven't been using the Apex very long.
Let's see. I think I've got them in front of me. 5?
5 already?
Yep,
wow.
I think 5 in the last. So yeah, like you said, I haven't really been using the Apex that long. If we talk, probably the second or third week of October, so about 2 months now.
Wow. That's pretty incredible. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So let me ask you a question. So I know that one area you said you went back over and you found that other large scent. You found some buttons and stuff, and you put it in multi-frequency. What coil are you using? Are you using the Viper coil that came with it, or a different coil?
The Viper coil.
Okay.
The Viper coil. I might put a new coil on the Christmas list, but, with the fact that I do have the other machines with multiple coils, I've got to
utilize those too.
Yes.
Sure.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I would recommend for sure, and you already know this, but definitely going back over that same area where you found that, that concentrated area. I always go back over with a smaller coil later, and then after I've even cleaned more stuff out, I go back again, but I usually put on like a larger coil, so that is really cool. I can't wait to see what else you pull out of there.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. A week ago, we already had a 2-inch frost, And thankfully, with the rain, we got a little bit of relatively warm weather, and then the sun happened to be hitting this new location that I went to. So I was like, I'm going to give it a go. And thankfully, the frost layer's gone again. It just, you get 4 nights in a row with the 20s. These wet fields are going to freeze right back up, and I'll be driven to the woods.
I can't talk tonight. Oh.
But you have some
Yeah.
exciting news to share too, don't you?
Oh, yeah, but first, back to you for a minute.
Okay.
So you're talking about you're going into the woods. Have you already got snow yet?
We did, but it's gone already.
It's gone already?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
So, yeah, I'm anxious to see. So is this the same wooded area that's surrounded by the spot where you're finding these largies?
Nope,
Big pins?
well,
A
that's
different spot?
yeah, that's the one. So the one with all the trees in the woods is the spot I brought you to.
Uh-huh.
And I did find large scents there as well. So there's stuff there. But this other new permission, no, this one doesn't have woods or anything. I mean it does, but it's
Okay.
not their property. So
Okay.
so I won't be getting in those woods unless I get some permission. Which who knows?
Okay.
Knock on wood, maybe.
Yeah.
But the
Well, that would be
woods,
nice.
yeah, I find that using the smaller coils though in the woods is a lot easier, especially when we do start getting snow. When you start trying to swing the bigger coil in the woods with a lot of snow, and if there's any of the brush that's still kind of sticking up in the snow, it gets caught and it's not fun. The cellar holes too. I find that using the smaller coil around those cellar holes makes it a lot easier in the iron patches. But the other thing too, I think you and I had talked prior, and hopefully we won't have that much snow like we did. But I'd throw the
Right.
sensitivity up even higher to kind of put into place the fact that there's, 2 feet of snow over the ground.
Right. Especially if you're using that smaller coil, you're going to need that extra sensitivity for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can imagine. I haven't hunted that many I can't talk tonight. Cellar holes because of where I live, but the few cellar holes that I have, yeah, there's usually a lot of iron. So I imagine you need, to switch it up, smaller coil,
Yeah.
get in there in between some of that iron.
And that's
For
actually
sure.
this spot too, this new spot, there is definitely a section that it's a lot of iron. So I already know, like right there, if it doesn't freeze, I do need to get back there and bring one of my other detectors with the smaller coil. That way I can work it before it freezes. And you know what? I keep saying it this way. If it freezes, it freezes. Maybe I'll have it on the list for next year. It's always fun to, you get it's not really anxiety. It's kind of like excitement. Like you go and you ask permission again and, it's like a kid on Christmas morning. That's me asking do I have permission for the 2022 year?
Right. Well, I've got one permission, but I had told you that we had to stop because it started thunderstorming that last time I was there, and I haven't been back. And I got the owner of the property really interested in metal detecting too. And with my car situation, and my car's still in the shop, and probably will be for another week now. So I'm kind of trying to stick close to home. So yeah, last week, most of you that were probably already listening, you know that my friend Zola, we had her on what
A month or so ago?
maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, as one of our guests, and she hasn't been metal detecting all that long. And then she got into bottle digging too, and go back if you get a chance. Listen to that. She lives not too terribly far from me, and so she had called me up and said, take me to this dump you were telling me about. So we went and drove, about 3 hours, went to this dump, and we were there for 2 days. And that video is up now on my page in case you all have missed it. But she dug over 200 bottles. We didn't dig any coins this time. I did dig a ring, which turned out to be 10-karat gold.
Woo, gold.
So that was sweet.
That's always sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I got that amazing little, I love it, the sash buckle with all the ornateness on it. So I really like that. I love finding stuff like that. I've found some amazing sash buckles over the years, metal detecting, and I think that was my first one like that, dump digging. So that was really neat. I imagine you found I know you found a lot of different types of buckles and stuff before too. What's your favorite type of buckle?
Yes, the sash buckles like yours. Yeah.
Really?
I have one that it went back to the property owner, but it was actually a lady. It was her face and her hair, and it was so pretty. Anything like that, the Victorian age buckles are just gorgeous. They're gorgeous. They don't make them like that anymore. And there was a sash buckle that I actually found both sides for that were flowers. And, Warren Kruger, I think that's his name, Warren.
Yeah.
I was able, that's a while back, I had sent half the sash buckle to him and he cast it. So I have that I wear as a silver pendant that was cast from half of the sash buckle. It's gorgeous, gorgeous.
Have I seen that? Because I don't remember seeing you wearing that.
Yeah, I wear it. I need a better chain.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I've been nervous about wearing it lately because I noticed the chain was starting to wear thin. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he makes some amazing stuff. We need to have him on as a guest sometime. I know he does treasure hunting and metal detecting, and I'm assuming that's kind of how he got into making the jewelry, a lot of it from, melting down metal detecting finds, but he does some amazing work. And he had sent me that coil that I wear in most of my videos, the Garrett coil, double D coil. And then I've got somebody else sent me after my episode that I was in on the Gold Rush show. I had a friend send me, it's a shovel with a pick on it that Warren had made as well, that I wear with the pendant now. I love it. It's kind of dangerous, though.
Yeah. And I think, I shouldn't be afraid to lose it because I have a detector and I could probably go try to find it wherever I lost it. But it's it's heavy enough that if it's gone.
Yeah,
gone.
I get it. It's like me now, and I know that I have seen a lot of beginner detectors make that mistake where they'll wear their jewelry, especially their rings, out when they're out detecting, and the next thing you know, they're sitting there, oh, it's going off, my pinpointer's going off, and they don't realize their pinpointer's going off on their ring. I know that's a beginner's mistake, but it's funny when you take someone out and they're just getting started, and the next thing you know, they're making that mistake, or their shovel is too close. You've seen it all too, I'm sure.
And every single one, I'm sure, of our friends that do not detect has seen the meme that's out there with the guy digging and realizing, it was his steel-toed boots. I think just about every single friend I have has sent that to me. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I still get people send that same meme to me.
Yes.
It's like that, most of them aren't in the metal detecting. They're people that are friends that know that I
know. Yeah. Exactly.
Just all that, so it's funny.
Exactly. That's, I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure people in our chat too, I'm sure you've all seen it. Oh, it's too funny. But yeah, I think, and everyone can laugh, I'm sure I'll say it wrong, but Warren does is lapidary. So he works with rocks and gemstones, and some of them are
Oh,
pretty
yes.
awesome too. So I have that on the way, the new book. So Maine is very mineralized with amethyst pockets. I think the second largest ever amethyst pocket was found in Maine. So I have the book of all the different mountains and hills and areas to look. So that will be on my to do for next year that I'm pretty excited about.
I saw something just a few days ago. It was like a video, and it was showing Maine, and it was showing, I think it was quartz crystal, though. And there was another place there. Texas has a lot of it, too. So, yeah, we need to definitely look into that. And next time I go up or you come down here, besides metal detecting and dump digging and all that, we need to do, you know,
Yep.
look for some crystals and fossils and stuff
Yep.
for
Well,
sure.
well, New Hampshire and Maine have gold too. So I have a friend that's explained, a different area that we need to check out. And then New Hampshire's got like this is things I did growing up with my dad too, though, is we'd go and there's a mountain in New Hampshire and find smoky quartz. And then we loved going, I don't know if any of our New York listeners, I used to love going to Herkimer and finding Herkimer diamonds. And we'd go to Fonda, New York, and same thing. The Herkimer diamonds there are they're gorgeous.
Uh,
Yeah, so there's so many things. I'm already starting to make a list what I'd like to do in 2022. But
Start making it now, because
I know
2022 is just around the corner. I can't believe it. That means, yeah, you're going to have to make a little trip down here to Texas for sure.
I sure
And
do.
um, we'll have to put some of that on the list. I know that I've been to the diamond mine over in it's a diamond crater, I think they call it. Arkansas, is it Arkansas? Yeah, I think. Gosh, I've been there several times as a kid, and I probably said this before, but you know what I would like to do besides going digging for diamonds out there? I would like to metal detect out there.
Yes.
Can you imagine what everybody's lost just digging?
Yep.
There's got to be jewelry and digging tools and all kinds of stuff. I guess we'd have to ask permission, of course, but see people are already digging there anyway, so I don't see why they would care.
Yeah. That's the same. One of the areas, the gold spot I know about too. He was saying that he could tell that there was an old dump site there and people had set up and mined there. And he's like, you definitely need to bring your detector. I'm like, yes, I do.
Ooh, yes.
I'm like, oh, it's all around. You could search for minerals, you could search for gold, and I can detect. I'm like, go camp out on the mountain. Yes, please.
Man, that sounds like fun. Yeah, there's so many things. We need to start making, once you get your list made, share it with me and I'll work on my list, because I know I've always got a growing list. I just don't always write it down. And I need to do that, because not too far from me there's a place you can go. And I've said this before, but it's like a fossil park, and you can go there and take as many fossils as you want.
Yes, please.
And I know there's stuff like crinoids and gastropods and ammonites and all kinds of cool stuff.
Can you picture it? Me trying to get back on the flight after and not your bag weighs 200 pounds. I'm like, oh.
Well, I went metal detecting, I went dump digging, I went fossil hunting. And, that's another thing I did this this week. I did a different kind of treasure hunting. And I know you and I have talked about this before, but we had our friend Zola on here, like we were just talking about a few weeks ago, and me being without a car right now. So she's called me up and said, hey, I'm about to go to some thrift stores and some Goodwills. You want to go? And because what she's been doing is she had been digging bottles at these dumps, and she started selling. She got so into it, and she was collecting so much. She's like, I can't become a hoarder. I don't need all of these. I'll keep the smaller ones and get rid of the other ones. So she's like, why not just make a little money? Put them on eBay and started making money. And of course, she was putting a lot of work into it. She was researching each bottle and all of that. And then she was also putting some together in groups. If y'all listen to that episode. And she's been making decent money. So that's why we went back to that dump. And like I said, I ended up I came back with maybe 5 bottles. All the rest of the bottles I dug, I gave to her.
Mm-hmm.
Plus she dug more bottles. So I think she wound up with close to 200 bottles. Anyway, she also has been going to some of these resale shops, and she's been purchasing, well, first she went to an antique store, and she had found some bottles there because she was running out of stuff to sell on eBay. And so she went and found a few bottles. And then after that, she's like, oh, looking for more stuff to sell. So she started going to some of those thrift stores and purchasing some stuff, and that's been going really well for her. And so anyway, she called me up this weekend, and we ended up going Saturday to some thrift stores, and she found some stuff. And one item she already put on eBay, and it's already sold. So it's amazing how well her business is doing. And I know we've talked about that. You know, we all have things we collect, or there's, even if you don't metal detect, there's other types of treasure hunting, you know, that we've talked about on here before, besides magnet fishing and dump digging and that sort of thing. But thrifting and garage selling and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. I used to co-own, which most of you already know this, I used to co-own a resale shop, and that's what we would do. We would go to auctions. We would go to thrift stores. We would go to, you name it, to estate sales and purchase stuff for our store. And it can become quite lucrative. So some of you, if you're amassing too much treasure from your treasure exploits, that's something that you might want to consider, because you can probably make a lot more money selling it, you know, like on eBay or something, than you can, you know, selling it like at a garage sale or a flea market or something of that nature. So just a thought. But yeah, we found some pretty cool stuff. One interesting thing, after she dropped me off at home, she went to and hit another sale, and it's a certain brand. But you know those Christmas trees, those ceramic Christmas trees with the little light? There was a certain brand that is selling for quite a bit on eBay, and she found one. And I don't remember right at this moment how much she spent, but I found one. It's a 2-foot tree, ceramic one, of this certain brand, and I looked on eBay and I found one like it, and it was selling for $500. It was listed for $500.
Jeez
so
Louise.
Like, woo! She said that one she was keeping for herself right now. She may sell it later, but it brings back those nostalgic memories from when her grandmother had one. But anyway, thrifting is a lot of fun.
Was it a Kurt Adler? Is that the Adler? Alder?
That could be it.
Yeah.
Could be it. I'm bad with names. But she's getting pretty savvy at all that. She's getting aware. When we were shopping, and she's like, "Look for this brand name. Look for this name. Look for this name." And so I'm looking at all the stuff on the bottom. A lot of that stuff. Some of them I used to know from looking for our resale shop, but sometimes things also change with popularity during times.
Yeah.
Different times too.
Very true. So. Yeah, some of those knickknacks are starting to become popular again.
Right. But yeah, what were you saying? You asked me a question earlier.
Oh,
I was going to go
boy.
It was about my news.
Oh, exciting news. Yeah.
Yeah, so now I'm kind of an ambassador for Digstock.
Boop, boop.
And so if you are thinking of going to the North Carolina Digstock coming up in, now I got to look at the date.
The March. March something, right?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It will be a week long of treasure hunting. I think it's over 5,000 acres. It has multiple old home sites on it. I don't know if it's ever been detected or not. But let me look that up.
I think it's March 24th through the 29th. Or
you probably know better than I do. I shows you what a great investment I am.
Well, it's new to you, so it's not.
I'm terrible at dates.
March 20th through the 25th in North Carolina. And the only reason I kind of know that too is because I'm still going back and forth.
Trying to decide.
Yeah. Yep. I've got there's a hunt in April. I think it's a week long that I'll probably be attending. And then there's another, a 5-day one or 4-day one in the fall I'm attending, and then another 4-day one in the fall. I only get so much time off of work.
Right. We've got to get to full time, that's for sure. Somehow, some way, we got to do it. But yeah, so if you are on the fence, there's only like 70 tickets left. But if you do decide to purchase one, just on the affiliate, when you go to purchase your ticket, you can go to digstockevents.com or Digstock and then go to events. It'll pop up, and type in code Gypsy on the affiliate to let them know you heard some info about it from me. If you got any questions, hopefully I'll be better prepared. You can message
It happens.
Me
it happens.
I should have had it written down right in front of me. But anyway, so yeah, that's fun. And anyway.
Yes. So the Goodwill and Thrifting, though, honestly, the estate sales, well, obviously in New England, we don't have yard sales in the winter. It'd be fun, maybe. No, I take it back. It wouldn't be fun.
I think it would be.
But those are definitely, if you're not into getting out when it's, in the negatives or even below freezing, or the ground is frozen around you. Those are some fun ways to kind of still be treasure hunting. I know in the past couple weeks I've been checking out, so I know the creek diggers. Those guys, I constantly had seen that they had live auctions with some of the stuff that they've dug in the privies and the bottle dumps, and I've caught a couple of their auctions and I was pretty excited. I won a few. So when the weather was really bad and, or it gets dark here at 4:30 and I don't get done work until, 4, can't really get out. So, on Wednesdays I caught a couple of their auctions and managed to score some pretty nice pieces that I was excited about. So,
Wow.
yeah, that was fun. That was fun. So
That's
definitely,
super
yeah,
cool.
something interesting. I mean, it's definitely fun to watch and see the stuff that goes up. Plus, I found I'm learning a lot about bottles too, watching it as they're explaining what some of them are. I'm like, oh, geez, I left like four of those at the dump because of, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're selling for like, $20 a pop. Like, oh,
It adds up.
geez. Yeah,
Well,
yep.
yeah. Something, speaking of auctions, and Brian is here in the chat as well. I know he buys some of these from time to time. But when I had my store, I also did a lot. I went to the, like you see the Storage Wars.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I would go to some of those auctions, and I got some bins that one of the biggest bins I got, I actually went in halvers with with a friend, and it was full all the way to the brim, the top part, and it went way back. So it took us weeks just to get all of the stuff out of there, and to fill it up on our truck and trailer and stuff. And we ended up having some garage sales and stuff. And then to get rid of some of it faster,
Yep.
and then the rest, would go to my shop. But we got some cool stuff in there. I remember we got some jewelry. I remember we got quite a bit of jewelry, and some of it turned out to be some gold and some silver.
Nice.
Rings and stuff like that. I can't remember what all else at the moment, but it was a lot of fun going through that. And it can be very addictive. You just have to be really careful, though, bidding sometimes, especially if you're not familiar with the area, and if it's crowded, you can get in a bidding war, and you don't want to do that, as you probably, people seen from the show and stuff. But it was a lot of fun, though. We found some really cool stuff. I had a friend that bought one, and he found there was a bunch of socks, and he started pulling these socks up, and they were filled with something. He's like, what the heck? This is real heavy. And he started opening them up, and it was full of silver dollars in these socks. So you never know. You never know.
That's pretty cool. It's true, though. Yeah, you have no idea. No idea.
You just never know. It's kind of like, when we go out there and we're digging a hole, we may have an idea of what kind of signal we got, but sometimes there's those nice surprises,
Yeah, that's true, too. That is true.
What about dumpster digging? Have you ever done any dumpster digging?
I have not. With my luck, I'd jump into one that's full of raccoons, and then I would tell John, I have some new pets I'm bringing home. So no, I haven't. I haven't tried that yet.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I was into that for quite when I lived in Galveston, because there were alleyways you could go drive through, and people would put out all kinds of stuff. So they would put out furniture, sometimes some really neat stuff, antique stuff, and so that became my kids' favorite time, especially my oldest son. He was like, "Hey, Mom, let's go treasure hunting. Let's go through the alleys, let's go driving." And we got some pretty cool stuff. It was actually a friend of mine that got me started in Galveston, where I lived. But way back to when I was a kid, I remember me and my brother were bike riding once through an alley, and there were all these boxes and of stuff laying all over the ground and outside of the ground, and we found a bunch of rings laying on the ground, and we started diving in the dumpster and finding things, really cool stuff. Did that another time. I think I've talked about this before. It was actually our neighbor dumpster in the backyard when we lived in Odessa, and there was brand new fishing lures still in the box.
Huh.
And some of those can be worth some money.
Yeah, they can.
There's fishing poles in there and stuff like that. But at the time, we gave it to my granddad.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he was excited with that.
For sure. But, it's amazing. I can remember doing that as a kid, and I haven't done it in so long because it's so different now. Now, we did do that when I owned my resale shop here, not far from where I live now, is dumpster days. We would go driving around in the neighborhoods and find furniture and stuff that people were throwing away, and got some cool stuff that way. And we would, refurbish it sometimes and stuff like that. So that was cool.
I take it back. When I was, I forget what year in between in college, when everyone moved out of the housings and the houses and the apartments and stuff, a lot of them would just leave all their furniture and whatnot. And at that point, I lived in a big house with quite a few other people, and I remember going around and being like, do we need a new table? So yeah, I guess I have kind of done that, taken some alleyway stuff.
Yeah, it's just amazing, and it kind of goes to show you still what's found in the old dumps. Like when we go dump digging, people think, you're going dump digging? What? What is that? And you're going, yeah, you won't believe what I find, They don't understand that a lot of stuff gets thrown away accidentally besides purposely. So,
yeah, you're like, yeah, the trash stuff's not really there anymore. It's all biodegraded or burned away, because they like to burn the dumps that we play in. But yeah. So you have, so your dump video came out, the one that you were just talking about with going with Zola, right?
Yeah, let me see if I can post that link.
Yep. I got it.
Real quick. You already got it?
Oh, yeah. But how many... I watched it, and then I had to go back and rewind and look again, and how many bags of bottles did you guys end up taking out of there?
Well, she had some in her backpack. I had some in my backpack, and then we brought newspaper and some bubble wrap and stuff, and we had 3 bags full of bottles as well, besides what was in our backpack. So
absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely crazy. That's so. I forget who we were talking.
I was just going to say, did I tell you one of the homeless guys helped us carry this stuff out?
Oh, no, you didn't.
There is a homeless camp there. We ended up giving him some money just because, he had offered, and he let us walk through his camp so we wouldn't have to walk down to the creek and through it to carry all that stuff back. And so we kind of asked him, said, do you mind? Is that your camp up at the top? And he's like, no, I don't mind. And so when we passed through, he's offering to help, and then we just handed him some cash on the way out.
Oh, so that's nice, though.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's awesome, because they don't have to be nice and say yes. You could have to do the miles around.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was I going to say? It's crazy, the difference from, and I'm not knocking metal detecting, because metal detecting is really what got me back into treasure hunting. But it's crazy the difference between dump digging, mudlarking, and then metal detecting, and how a day of, either mudlarking or dump digging, the amount of finds you can find versus
It
depending
is.
on it is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But
Well, look
obviously,
what we found mudlarking when we went, on our
yeah.
last trip
Yep.
together. It was insane. I was still unwrapping some of that stuff just yesterday.
Oh, geez.
And I put some of my marbles that I found, in fact, Brian sent it to me as a gift. It's a gumball machine.
Nice.
And I filled those marbles that I found at that dump in there just yesterday. So it's amazing how much stuff we did come back with, and I was still going through stuff. I still got more stuff to go through.
But I mean, it's a localized area of things that were tossed compared to metal detecting. I mean, unless you find the home site or an area that was well populated, at a given time, it's a little bit different. But yeah, I just remember the past few times, the actual bottle dump digging and coming back with, like you said, like bag upon bag, and you're like, all right, here's the littles, here's the bottles, here's the metal, here's the marbles.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we really did well, and then you go out there weekly mudlarking besides metal detecting and the stuff that you find and come back with. I mean, it's amazing how much we accumulate.
It is. It is actually. So I'm in the middle of. I still have 3 properties to put out, and um, I'm basically cataloging everything right now. So the room you
Mhm.
stayed in is a complete and utter disaster, and yet I'm looking at things going, all right, I'm missing the padlock. Where did I put in? You know me, I put everything that I find in a year in a couple different boxes. So that way at the end of the year, I can go through them all and catalog. And because of some of the properties that I dig, I'm getting ready to type up the index and then display so I can hand them back. And I'm going, there's things missing, but the room is a complete disaster because I'm like, all right, what can I do? How I'm displaying everything out, trying to get pictures. A disaster. It's a disaster. But I'm missing items. I'm like, I have no idea what I did with that. I have no idea what I did with that. Um,
Wow.
Emily just asked a good question. She said, "What
Yeah, I
tools do
saw
you?"
that.
Yeah, I love my clam rakes. I love them because they're curved compared to the 3-prong garden digger. I know that
So what does a clam rake look like? I don't think, did I
I'm
use one? Did you let me use one
yes.
okay.
Yes. It's the basically has the curved. They're curved.
I'll have, I'll have to look one up because what um, I use the plastic rake, the 3-pronged plastic rake,
Hmm.
because I don't want to damage the bottles.
Yes, that makes
When I'm
sense.
digging in that dirt, the only problem with that is sometimes it depends on the dump. Sometimes you have that real flaky, beautiful dirt that just falls away. And uh, so that one works perfect in that. But when it's really hard dirt, sometimes even just a small, and now Zola, she uses like a small hook, like it's the plastic hook, but what's happened is 2 of the prongs have broken off. And so it's got one hook. And that one is probably one of her favorites to use, or one
Nice.
hook type thing. Of course, when you're getting into a lot of roots, like we do in some of the dumps we dig, we
Yeah.
bring the little root clippers. Um, Sometimes you can get them in the garden kits, and those are handy. Another thing that I found one, and she found hers at Walmart, I think, and I got mine at like Ross, and they had their garden section set out, and it come with the plastic 3-prong hook, It came with a little plastic shovel,
Yep.
and it came with the clippers, and it came with a like a rubbery mat that's thick so you can sit on. And that's really good because if you're sitting down in a pile of glass, it protects you and keeps you from that, but it also keeps you from sitting on that cold dirt that you're digging up. And it's also, if you want to get on your knees and dig, you can do that instead of using, your knee pads. But I like using both knee pads and then that little thing to sit on when I'm dump digging, if I'm just kind of digging in the same spot. And yeah, Audra's right. Cut-proof gloves. I even found these cut-proof sleeves that go on, and those are really good. Now, I used that this last time because what's happened in the past is if I'm leaning down in the hole to try to dig out a bottle and there's glass sticking out, I have actually cut my arm on something. And so that cut-proof sleeve, and I found them on Amazon really inexpensive because you can get it, and it comes with the cut-proof gloves as well. And so it still allows you to pull the glove off if you need to, because if I'm videoing, I have to pull it off.
Yeah.
So anyway, it came in really handy. I really liked it. So check that out if y'all get a chance, those cut-proof sleeves as well. And I found it's got double whammy. It also, it not only keeps your arms warm when it gets colder, but it also keeps the mosquitoes from yeah, and somebody mentioned hazmat suits. So if you go back to our video, people are going, why are y'all wearing those hazmat suits? So what we did is Zola and I picked up, because that dump I dug in before, and you can imagine all the burnt stuff and the chemicals and stuff over time. That stuff has got a bad chemical in it, and it was making my friend Chrissy break out really bad. And so besides it getting on your clothes and in your nose and in your hair and your everywhere, I was like, you know what? I'm going to see if I can find one of those coveralls. So I found the disposable coveralls. And on the cover of the thumbnail for the video, it's Zola and I in our hazmat suits and our coveralls. So if y'all get a chance, check it out. It's funny. It does look like hazmat suits because it does have a hood too. They're just inexpensive painter suits. So yeah, it looked kind of like the Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But anyway.
that's the thing, like when you and I dug the button dump, depending on what you're getting into, like you'll find that after digging areas like that, like even metal detecting when it's really, really dry, you end up blowing your nose and it's like black. The dirt and everything is just in your nose. You've been breathing it. So I know that you and I, the last time we dump dug, we wore the face masks, and like they looked so gross after with like the black. It was pretty funny. But it seems like this past year, trying to be a little bit more careful. You as
Right.
well as myself, like, all right, maybe,
We got to take care of our lungs and our bodies, and it's another way to breathe in those toxins. I know how toxic that one was, and just breathing in, just your mask was, our masks were awful after we finished digging in that one spot in that button dump. So,
yeah, I think I changed mine twice, and it was still like, it was black, and God, the grossness. But it was the first time I left that dump without like feeling ill. So that's probably, got to remember doing that again. So that's
right, for sure.
yes.
Yeah, a lot of us are already used to wearing masks anyway
Yeah.
from, COVID and stuff. So it's good when you're at these dumps, keep that dust from getting in there. And it's probably even better to wear some safety glasses, which I don't do, but, chipping away, I mean, you could easily pop a piece of glass, and I know after getting metal in my eye when I was a kid, so that was the worst thing ever. So, yeah, we should maybe get us some safety glasses too. We definitely will look like the Ghostbusters then with our hazmat suits, our safety glasses, all of that. You there?
Yes, yeah. I was the chemicals that they used in the dump that I brought you to, or that we've gone to before. Like, I noticed that even when you wash your clothes, they still have the lingering smell on it. So yeah,
Yeah,
those suits are great. And I
they
actually do
really
have a
are.
Geiger counter, Steve. I had forgotten to bring it this last time because I wanted to check it out and see.
I would be curious, yeah. And it's funny because that's what my grandmother used to call my metal detector.
Yes.
She's like, "You gonna get out your Geiger counter and go check in the yard?" I love it. But
But yeah,
yeah, just don't wear the orange ones, that's for sure. I noticed there was some orange. I looked up because I was thinking it would be nice not to throw it away, but had one that I could rewash too, like a really cool, like camo coveralls and stuff. So I was looking on Amazon for some coveralls. That's another thing because Zola and I, when we were there at the dump, before we went to the dump, we stopped off at a Goodwill, and right before that we'd stopped off and got some of these coveralls, these paint suits at the Home Depot. Well, anyway, we got to Goodwill, and they had still brand new, had the original tag on it, the camouflage, but they were too big for both of us. So she ended up buying them for her boyfriend. But anyway, it was really cool. So I went online and on Amazon and was looking for a pair of coveralls that I could just wash, rewash and stuff. But really funny that I liked. But they did have orange ones. And I'm like, well, we definitely don't need to wear an orange one. Somebody think we escaped,
yeah. Oh, that would be bad. I'm too far away to come be like, no, she's not a prisoner.
Oh, gosh. That's funny. It reminds me of a story, but it's for another time. We're running close to time, the end here. Time goes by fast. Anything else we need to mention tonight? We do probably have a giveaway going on very soon that Amanda may be helping me out with, but it will probably be on Facebook if I can get that figured out.
You're doing a Facebook Live, right?
Yeah, with the Digger's Den, and so Brian has come up with some really amazing giveaways. So y'all be looking for an announcement very soon. We were trying to get it closer to Christmas, so we will see. So y'all be sure and be looking for an announcement soon for some giveaways from the Digger's Den. Be sure and check out our website at www.ddetectors.com. And if you're not finding what you need online, shoot me a message. It's possible we have some stuff in stock that is not on the website. It's very possible. So if there's something you need, Brian says it may end up being at a thing. And that's probably better because we've got it's just such a busy time, and we were trying to find a date to do this. And Amanda and I've got a big announcement we're going to be making soon as well. So y'all stay tuned for that big announcement. And it's going to be big. And
December 27th.
Yeah, so we may be bringing in the new year with some great stuff and some great giveaways. So y'all stay tuned for that. Awesome, Brian. That is awesome. So, yeah, if you're still looking for the new Garrett pouch, I know Amanda ordered some. I've got some, and they are amazing. And we still have some in stock, I think, don't we, Brian? I hope so. And also, besides the pouch, we've got those brand new Garrett shovels are in stock as well. Anything you're needing for maybe treat yourself this Christmas. Maybe you're getting some of us, we get those nice little Christmas gifts, Christmas money, gift cards, stuff like that. Let us know if we can help you. So, and then I've got a little something on the way for Amanda. Hopefully you'll get it, your little Christmas present on Wednesday. So we'll see. So I think it's about time to wrap it up here. And we thank you all for being in chat. We thank you for support. And with our big announcement coming up soon, y'all be sure and stay tuned and listen. Listen for announcements, listen for some upcoming prizes, all kinds of goodies. So y'all be sure and tune in and listen. We've got some upcoming guests to close out this year as well. So be sure and stay tuned for that. Anything else you can think of?
Nope, that's about it.
All right, folks. Well, thank you all, and you all have a wonderful night and happy hunting if you're able to get out this week and dig something amazing.
Good night, all.
Good night, all.